noise falling on the city street, a quiet hush, a frozen beat. December air is sharp and cold, a story waiting to be told. We gather round the fading light, seeking truth to make things right. From every mountain, every shore, we're knocking on justice's door. Oh, we the people hear a call, the freedom ring, stand tall. The swing is light, our voices raise for justice in these coming days. Let truth like a river flow. Some promises were left to break, for every dreamer wide awake. But in the cold of fire burns a lesson that the heart burns. From every valley, every door, we're asking, what are we fighting for? Oh, we the people hear the call, every opportunity stands nigh. For justice in the From every valley, every door, we're asking, what are we fighting for? The flow, for silence and the loss, we remember the cost. For the future we must build a promise to be fulfilled. Seeking justice, let truth flow. We the people, let it snow, let justice grow.
Has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
And fair game for the public to hear is why we're here. Oh my gosh, I missed you all. I have been so busy with the holidays. It is good to be back. It is good to see you. It is December the 22nd already, 2025, and 26 is right around the corner. So I do apologize. I had to push my live back due to my Starlink router being upgraded, and I thought it would only take a certain amount of time, and I was shocked when I went to go live and I wasn't able to get on my computer to the internet. So thank goodness I had my cell phone. Now, I don't know what you're hoping for this Christmas, and I always tell my kids I hope for something that I have been wanting for, and then something that I have been needing. Okay, so I don't know what you're needing this Christmas, but I sure hope that it comes this Christmas, and if not this Christmas, in the coming new year. I have always told that to my kids, to be patient. Maybe it's just not your season yet to have what you really want. And if it doesn't happen, then maybe it's not meant to be. And you're talking about a mom who made all their kids buy their own prepaid phones, pay their own bills at the time they asked me for a phone. All four of my kids, well, I should say all three of my kids. Oh my gosh. 2026, I hope that the word is not for the year crazy. I hope it is answers, justice, truth, because I feel like we are being played or hoodwinked when you start looking at the bigger picture with what has happened in the Idaho 4. And one specific thing that I'm going to talk about today is all the redactions. If you've been watching my post, you're going to you're going to get an idea of what I'm talking about tonight. Who is tired of all these redactions? I mean, I have an image I could share, but for some reason, StreamYard and YouTube haven't been nice to us creators, people who are putting out real, truthful, factual content. And let me do this. Let me slow my roll here. Welcome everyone in. Terry, good to see you. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for the love and the messages. No talkie before coffee. So appreciate you being here. Caleb, good to see you. Les, Dina, I hope all of you guys came back. I'm so sorry for the delay. There I am. Let's go. Rebecca, good to see you. Karen, good to see you. Grammy, I almost said, yeah, Grammy Tammy, 13. Art Gal, good to see you. I hope you're warm and cozy wherever you are. Nefariously Jinx, love your name. Misinformation, welcome in. Donna Rosa, Grammy T, Les, good to see ya. Good to see every single one of you here. Georgia Grandma, Georgia. Amanda B, you are in my heart and in my prayers. Heidi, welcome in. Lady G, welcome in. Every single one of you. If I didn't call you out by name, you know that you are welcome here. Anytime, any stream. 1-1. Good to see ya. So let's do this. Let's just jump right into it. It's going to be a short, quick stream. Why all the redactions? I mean, I could go. I think we all know what we're talking about here. And if you are new to my stream, this is a very open-minded stream. What do I mean by that? Well, you know, we rise above the assumptions and the rumors. We stay curious. We ask the questions. We think with open minds here. And every single question matters. Every angle is welcome and nothing is off limits here. But if you're trolling, keep scrolling. This isn't going to be your stream. I guarantee you. So I'm Phoenix, your host. This is Phoenix, and this is where curiosity sparks the fire, and I may drop some fire bombs. Redact the redaction. Tycoon, you got it. So we're going to look into something that, I've been eyeing for a while. I've been really quiet about it. And I thought, you know what? I think we need to take action. What kind of action do I mean? I mean the type that you actually sit down, write a letter, a certified letter to your legislation of your choice, either Idaho, your own, someone to help get involved and take a look at what's going on in the Idaho 4. But as I started doing this months ago, writing the DOJ, if you go to Justice for All, you'll see that there are sample letters to the DOJ, Trump, President Trump, his cabinet, all other people. And when I started sitting down, and I write at least 1 to 2 to 3 letters a week, taking a look at this Brian Koberger case in Idaho, asking what the heck is going on as a concerned citizen and a concerned military veteran. What is going on in the country that I took an oath to serve? And it's becoming very clear to me that there's something bigger. Now, I've always said this, it's my speculation, my thought, that there is a horrible incident that takes place and someone uses it to their advantage. And it's becoming more and more looking like they have turned the Idaho 4 into a very political stance. What do I mean by that? Oh my gosh. I hardly ever discuss religion, politics, but I'm going to say this. If you are not aware at all of the people involved in the Idaho 4 that have gotten their hands in the pot, per se, it is really scary to think that some of these people are actually running our country or know someone in high power where they could make some type of stance, some type of name for themselves. Very scary, folks. What do I mean? Well, I shared this the other day. Well, let me go back to the first one that I shared because I think this is really important. There was this riddle. I was going to have a live about it tomorrow, but I'm changing my live and I'm going to do it now. There was this riddle that was thrown out there. I don't know who came up with this riddle, but this riddle kind of got a lot of people talking in the true crime community. And I will say there are some paid people. I hate to burst your bubble, but if you know me, I'm going to tell you the truth. There are some people out there paid to push a certain narrative. They are paid to lead people in certain directions. There are a few people out there who are independent, like myself, who will go after facts to see and share. And some of these creators don't like it. They don't like it. One, they don't like it because it's not selling the narrative. Okay. Yes, this was on 4chan in the beginning of the case. And all of these little clues, like the GPS coordinates of the AKA alleged arboretum and where you would find the gnome and all those other things, we had a feeling a long time ago. And when I say we, a couple of us who'd gotten together and looked at the Idaho 4 case. And have you ever seen something like riddles or something on 4chan like this? I have never, ever seen anything like this in any other case. I mean, have you seen anything like this in the Karen Reed case, for folks? Have you seen anything in the Brian Walsh case? I have never seen anything like this in the Idaho 4 case. It's wild. Now, when I start looking at this riddle, at this puzzle, I want everyone to put their heads together here. I mean, we can speculate all we want on how this riddle rolls. Was EXKM the order that this took place? Don't know. We still don't know. We still don't know anything in this Idaho 4 case. Everything they tell us doesn't make sense. There's no conclusion. And yeah, make sure to hit the like button. I'm watching the chat tonight. And, you know, it doesn't make sense. Was Ethan cornered or sandwich? You know, there's a prison term for sandwich. There's all kinds of nefarious reasons they would put this little, I don't know, puzzle together to have people figure it out or just question this whole thing, right? And I look at this and I'm thinking to myself, was Ethan cornered or sandwiched by two guys in the bathroom? And is A, like one of the guys, AA, in the documents that may be involved? Alleged? Possible. Was Xana held back by 5? Well, she saw something happen, or the G word, the Gideon, right? That was written on Dylan's arm. What am I talking about? Well, if you saw the actual video that we were watching last week, and let me grab it. Law and Crime Network had the Idaho 4, and this is just really odd. They had this released video first, and I'm wondering why they were picked to release this video and how some of these FOIAs are being miraculously answered to some people, but not others. I have asked for almost 37 FOIAs to date and only have gotten one. So I don't know how they determine who gets them and how they determine who shares this, but it feels to me like it's all pre-planned. I'm not afraid to say it. It's like it's pre-planned to certain creators that are sharing these documents, specific videos. And it just feels that way to me. So, we watched the IDAHO4, this one, and I'm going to undo it. Now, look at Dylan's arm. When I say I'm so tired of these redactions, we're all going to have to figure this out together. Either we all agree that we've been hoodwinked and this is just some movie or show that we've been watching for the last 3.5 years, whatever, because it feels longer than it actually is. And even then, I keep saying that if it's not pre-planned, they use this to their advantage. But when I go back and watch these videos again, it hits differently, doesn't it? It hits differently that this looks like it was all set up. It was all played out. It was all done because we're looking at the body cam, and this body cam is we're supposed to believe it's like 11 something in the morning. But then all these people are standing here. They had known since 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the redactions that I shared that there was one individual that said that she was standing in line at 10 o'clock and she had already had the alert. So obviously they got their story all mixed up and backwards, because now when we watch these, it's going to hit different, folks. We'll start with the redactions. There is nothing written on Dylan's arm in this scene. And when I say scene, it feels like a movie. It was an amateur hit. It feels like it was a movie, and there is nothing written on Dylan's arm right here. Unless the redaction has already been made, these video cams look all blurred or something skewed, because there is a lot of redactions and blurring. And now it makes sense. Look, I'm going to play it for a little bit.
Kaylee went upstairs and she screamed because someone's in the room and she ran downstairs. And I kept calling her name and she wouldn't answer.
There is nothing on her arm.
I just locked the door and I ran downstairs, but we don't know what's going on.
Okay, they only show you a portion of that. And let's talk about real quick, why would they redact in body cams and blur their faces? What do you guys think? What's hidden in this body cam footage? Why do police blur these things? Power saw cutting trees while Ellie were going through the house. Exactly. Whoever did that riddle was watching, was there, knew. Every single person had a role to play, in my humble opinion. The power saw cutting trees while Ellie was going through the house. Someone who shared this riddle is part of it or was watching it unfold. Okay. Now, if you look at this riddle and you think Kaylee was stabbed multiple times by L and R, well, who would be L? That could possibly be alleged Loach. And R could possibly be Reed, right? I mean, we're speculating here, and that's what we do. It could be L and R. And these initials, people are saying it's a fraternity, AGR, Alpha Gamma Rho. I've only heard their name mentioned one time in this. Couldn't the L, the A, the G, and the R be the 4 alternative perpetrators? Is that even possible? And what happened to Maddie? Why is there a cinder block under her? What the heck does that mean? Maddie and Perky, 7 and cinder block? I mean, how in the world would we know that the person who did this, that was watching or knew, made this little thing? It is baffling. I mean, when I asked people what their speculation was, it was very interesting. AGR is alpha gamma rho. Okay. First time looking at it, Caleb said he deleted his own comments. It was just theory, but that's all we do. We don't have any idea or answers to these because no one has answers to what happened in the Idaho 4. Not even the Brian Koberger narrative, he's guilty, is we don't even believe that, right? There's many of us that don't. And so somebody put Maddie Percocet 7 or drug hit in the head with the cinder block, Xana essay by 5 people in a group. I mean, some of these speculations are quite wild and some of them are really good, right? I mean, Wild West said, found on Reddit, Weird Carol 168 from 6 months ago. Top row letters are the first initials of the 4 victims. Sandwich, the Mad Greek restaurant where Xana and Maddie worked, or the DD order, or the bad one-time date Kay went on where Reed Upmore called her the B word and told her to make him a sandwich. RU, Reed Upmore, was a member of Alpha Gamma Rho as a forestry major, and that's the only time that I've heard his name mentioned, and Alpha Gamma Rho as a forestry major. 5 is for 5 roommates. Initial K looks like the print on U.S. paper currency. Did Kaylee owe or take someone's money? Outhouse refers to the 3rd bathroom floor. Part of the wall was removed by Allie with a power saw. Was money or drugs hidden inside? A cinder block, retaining wall, 1122 King patio, or the foundation of the house? Perky Scott is the former owner of 1122 King. L is for Loach, party at a frat with EC or Linda Lane where atrocities may have started. Not sure about the voodoo doll or the 7, maybe 7.5 hours elapsed before 911 call, and not too sure the TikTok user Mike Wimmer, who designed this puzzle, actually knows if there are any supposed clues lined up with that took place. Yeah, it kind of looks like a quilt. Been following this case with 2 years, but these are my best guesses. And I thought that was a pretty good guess. There's something, a little hidden message for all of these. Absolutely. I was thinking just on a pretty large scale, simple. I mean, does anybody else have any good feedback? You don't see Kaylee or Maddie on the riddle. Well, Kaylee is the K, and M looks like M for Maddie. Maybe covered body quilt. K, voodoo doll. L, R, abbreviation to killer. Oh, that's pretty good. Ooh, that is good. I don't know who created this. That was just someone who made that comment that Mike, she made the comment right here. Not sure if TikTok user Mike Weimer, who designed this puzzle, knows if it's supposed the clues that line up or what took place. Been following this case for 2 years. I don't know who made it. No one's admitted to making this. So you have an E, you have an X, you have a K, and an M. And I don't think that was the order that they had passed away in my humble opinion. And sandwiched in the bathroom makes sense to me more than, an outhouse could be a bathroom. What does that even say? Outhouse? Kind of looks, like they messed up some letters in there. And that's all it is right now. Gnome, Mogan. Oh, that's good. That's interesting. And it could be like one of those, what is, yeah, Mike was in Birdie's live. We were on a couple lives on the TikTok back in the day. We talked a lot about Grub Truck. We went in real detail on that. But when you look at the riddle, you look at the 4chan post, and then you look at the redactions, it starts to line up like, what are we watching? Have we been hoodwinked? Have we? I could see your comments, Dina. Absolutely. The shed. It could be the shed. Rosendahl and some other place, some other piece of shite cop in Moscow. Yeah, the cops were very close to this atrocity. And I mean like right around the corner atrocity. We saw the body cam. We saw them sitting in their car. We know the time. And I've always said that this started around 1:21. And if it started at 1:21, it was Ethan and Xana. Well, Kaylee was at the grub truck with Maddie. And we're actually streaming this. If this was true, they are, yeah, that's what it says. Oath, guys. Exactly, Amanda. It doesn't say outhouse. Maybe it's a anagram or a mixed up word in there. What could that possibly be? TH. Huh. That is just really odd. Outhouse of the living house. Of the house living. Yeah, he didn't live there. So, I mean, outhouse, it happened out of the house. Correct. That's what I was thinking. And when you start looking at the redacted video and you start hearing these sounds at 1112 from the security cam, I've always said that this happened outside. It happened outside. Kaylee and Maddie's clothes were wet. They had to put them in an evidence dryer. Yes, an evidence dryer. And I believe it was outside. And when I say outside, from the security cam, there's no way you could have heard everything going on inside. It had to have started outside. And look at these redactions. Folks, it doesn't get any worse than this. Look at this. Whoever is doing their redacting in their body cam footage, they're doing a shitty job. I'm just saying it. Okay. I think it was outside and it started right here. I think it started somewhere in this area and then it moved inside. Yeah. Now, this is something that has been on my mind for a very long time because if you know, in the city that you live in, the sheriff always has jurisdiction. But for some reason, the sheriff never got involved in this case. Now, mind you, the sheriff has the ultimate authority in a city's jurisdiction if it falls in the county. And the Latah County sheriffs never got involved. And I often wondered about that. Never got involved. Think about it. When an organization that protects the county says, I ain't getting involved in your mess, you lead the investigation. They push it back. They push back. So let's look at these redactions. This was outside. This was outside. The power cord was plugged in. This, someone said maybe it's a clothesline. Maybe it's not a rope. Maybe it's a power cord. Maybe it's something, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But the power cord was plugged in. And that white piece of rope or cord or whatever it was, clothesline, it was not plugged in. And the redactions, again, you could see all the redactions. Look, they tried to paint over this mess that was, I don't know if it was rust, but if it was blood, then they left a big biohazard scene in the crime scene, in my humble opinion. But if you look, you could see all the redactions. And I don't know what that is on the patio that they tried to cover up. But when you play it in ultimate slow mode, you can see everything. It could be Cookie's Corner. It could be because they said it had, and I don't know if you've ever seen a extension cord. In the old days, they had those ribbed extension cords. Hopefully everybody knows what I'm talking about. And look at all this redaction. Look at all the blur. Look at all the redaction. A braided rope would do that as well, correct? But look at all these blurs. I mean, you're only going to see these things. I don't know what that is. You're only going to see some of these blurs when you play it on slow. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to go back to this factual statement. You don't see anything on Dylan's arm. But when you play it slow, there's something written on her arm that we caught last time. And I don't know if any of you caught it, but this won't let me share pictures. I don't know why today. And one thing I've always wondered, and I just remembered scrolling through that. Did anybody question why Bethany had shoes on and Dylan didn't? Anyone? Bethany had shoes on when she shows up, but yet Dylan didn't. Weren't they together? Allegedly. Anybody ever think about that one? She doesn't have shoes on, but Bethany sure did. So this thing that Dylan had on her arm, I've pointed it out before. I've talked about it before. Let me get to that scene real quick. It looked like it said Gideon was here. Did anybody remember that picture that I showed? Let's see, where is it? And it looks like they're hiding a lot of our arms. See the redaction, the blur? Let me get back to it. I think it said Gideon was here or something like that. Let me go slow. Let's see. Let's see if we can see it. I hate this noise. Is that what it said, Kelly is the man? Did it say Gideon was here? I believe that. Bethany was leaving the house with her friend and had to come back. Yeah. Oh, yeah, or somebody marked it. It did say Gideon was here. At first, I thought it had something to do with Gunderson, the way it was written and seen. I can't remember what time frame it was. Let's see if she moves her blanket. They do look swollen. And let's see. I'm trying to remember the mark. I didn't write it down and I should have. But when we were going through this before, I was like, what the heck is on her arm? And it looked like it said Gideon was here. So I did a little research on Gideon. And finally, we're starting to have answers in the Idaho 4. If you look beyond the narrative they're trying to sell you, and you start asking the questions, you're going to start seeing some of the answers. Does anybody remember what time frame that was where she's her arms uncovered and it said Gideon was here? Gosh. I just shared it last week. Where was it? In the beginning, it wasn't there. She shows her arms and they blur it. They start blurring everything out. I was wondering if that was the contact she put in her phone. Come on, Dylan, show your arm again. Where was it? I caught it just out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, what the heck is that all about? And not only that, she's got Xana's shirt on. Unless they both had shirts from Phoenix. Was Dylan in Phoenix before? I know she went there after. I believe in my humble heart, Bethany was protected. Come on, show your arm again. Okay, yeah, I know it was there, but I took a screenshot and I looked everywhere. And I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but it won't let me share the picture. It was all over her arm. Gideon was here. Something to that effect. The number 5 puzzle would be for the news 5 victims. Well, that's what I was thinking. It was a sign. She was trying to send a message to someone. They knew that this would be streamed nationally or even globally. So I went down the Gideon rabbit hole. And what I learned is quite shocking. Why would Dylan, of all people, have Gideon was here on her arm? Anyone? Does anybody even know what Gideon mentions? Come on, Dylan, show your arm again. Like she can hear me. You went down that rabbit hole? Okay. She hides it and then she points it out to show it. She intentionally, in my opinion, pulls her arm out and shows it at a certain point. I don't know why I didn't mark it and write it down. Hold on. Come on. Why does she only have one of her arms out if she's so cold? She talks with her hands. Who else here talks with their hands? I know I do sometimes. She's hiding it the whole time. And I caught a glimpse of it, and I'm like, what in the heck is on her arm? Where is it? Why is it sometimes I can find it and sometimes I can't? I should have wrote the number down. Dang it. She's over there sitting down. This is Bethany. Where is it? I know I have seen it. If anybody sees it, mark the time you see it. I thought it was right here at 24:51 maybe. Let me let it play for a minute. It was before the blanket? No, I thought it was after. I thought it was when she had the blanket. Let me go back. Okay, he calls her over there. Feels staged. Goes back. Comes out. That's weird to me. This is so weird to me. I'm gonna show you guys. This is, what does he have in his hand that he's trying to hide from the other guy's body cam? Okay, I've watched this thing like 3 or 4 times now. There's some parts that they didn't redact here. If you guys just caught some type of holes in the door jamb in the doorway, looks like black holes. Yeah, she points at it. Oh, come on. They got me. I'm waiting for this thing to load again. Sometimes I accidentally hit people with my hands when I talk to them. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. Let me see if this will pull up. Dang it. Okay. Having trouble connecting. This is okay. Something is not going right. Okay, watch. I think this is the slowest I can get it. Now I can make it slower. Okay, you guys, watch as the officer from the top of the door jamb, watch his thumb. They didn't redact this. The flashlight has lines on it, true. They didn't redact this, and I have this in slow motion on the door jamb. You got to catch it real quick. They didn't redact something. And you can see, where is it? You're going to have to go back. It's at 8. Hold on a minute. Is it at 8? 8:17, I think. 8:18. All right, hold on. Here it comes. I'm going to try to stop it. It's just slow motion right now. All right. Okay. You guys, they tried to redact everything what happened in this top 3rd floor loft area. I call it a loft, maybe bathroom area. The, the 2nd floor bathroom was busted in. Yeah, it was in the. Okay, so I don't know. They tried to redact a lot of this, but there is something here on the ledge they tried to redact. There was some, look like bullet holes in the wall. If you play it at really slow speed, you'll catch some of this stuff. They tried to redact whatever was on this ledge. And the shadow part, there's somebody on one side, but why are they blurring out the entire wall right here? That's not someone standing there. They are trying to blur out the entire. Look at this. I don't think it was the camera either. It does look like blood on that shelf. But look at this. They tried to redact everything that was on this. Those aren't shadows. One is a shadow on the left side. When he starts walking down, you'll see it. See his shadow walking down? But on the left side, they've redacted everything that may have been in this corner. And I think, in my humble opinion, whoever carried these girls upstairs, yes, I believe they were carried, they rubbed it across the wall, and it was never cleaned up against the wall. So if you're carrying a body like a sack of potatoes over your shoulder, and obviously a body is much longer, and if you're carrying a body and you rub the wall, it's going to be all on the wall when you turn up that corner and to bank again to go back up the stairs. It's all redacted right here. That's a horrible redaction job. Absolutely. They could have smeared it all over the wall, which it does look like, all the way up the wall. Look at the freaking redaction. That's not light reflection either. That's definitely redacted. And we know it was redacted because they tested these areas. They swabbed it, they luminoled it, they made everything they could, and it's in the forensic reports. We already know that. Now, what I find was odd is why would they have the need, hold on, let me go back. I went too fast. Why would they have the need to redact what I'm about to tell you? I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it right when I see it. He's coming down the steps. Look up all the way to the top. Look up right here underneath this shelf. Okay, so sorry guys. As you're walking down the stairs, look up at the ceiling. Why have they redacted all that at the top of the ceiling? Do you guys see that light right here that's supposed to be like a ceiling light or some like device? What in the heck is that they're blurring it out? I thought it looked like a camera to me. Do you guys see that right here? I thought it was, why would they blur out a light? Why would they blur out a light? It doesn't make sense. If it's just a lampshade or if it's just a light, why would they need to redact it? That looks like blood on that counter right there. And it looks like something's on it. The body knocked the light fixture off. Look at that. I don't think it was a smoke alarm, a sprinkler, a body cam. I thought maybe it was a body cam. I thought it was an actual camera, like a surveillance camera. These redactions have been done by the police. These redactions have been done and released. This is a great take on it. A body may have broken it. I thought it was a light bulb camera right by Dylan's room. Blood dripping down through the vent, maybe. That's a good one, too. I thought it was a camera. Here it is. You'll get a glimpse of it. Right there. I don't know why they would have the need to redact this. I was wondering what it was. I'm going to see if I can take a picture of it. I'm going to see if my AI can tell me. Can you see with your... I mean, why would they need to redact or blur that out? Okay, let's see what it says. Why would they need to? Cameras in the house, yeah. Right next to Dylan's room. Like near the kitchen vent, blurred. Okay. Here's what my AI says. What you can clearly observe, it's a small, light-colored, off-gray, white. I thought it was a camera. Rectangular web shape, looks flush or semi-flush to the wall, positioned high on the wall, no visible wiring hanging. It casts a short shadow, suggesting it protrudes slightly. And it suggests it's not debris and it's not random, it's mounted. Wall anchor, drywall anchor remnant, common with things removed from the wall or left behind, shelf, curtain rod, wall mount, plastic expansion anchor, but it's not my top probability based on shape and placement. It's used to hold cable management clip or adhesive mount like coax, alarm wires, or Ethernet. This is often left behind when cables are removed. So it had to have been possibly a camera. It can look out of place if the wire is gone. There was once a TV or security system nearby. I can't make this stuff up, guys. This is exactly what it says. It was once a router, TV, or security camera nearby. An old sensor mount, motion alarm, or camera base, not the sensor itself. Possibly a base or broken off bracket. Crazy. Can't make this up. And then we hear the rumors that people had security cameras in here. Now, here's my point. We have almost 200 people in this chat. And this is where it's going to get spicy. I'll give you a warning before I go. Folks, if this house was wired, they know everything that happened. They have proof, factual proof, what happened that night. This was a monitored, surveillanced house, which leads me to believe that if it was wired and watched and knew, then this atrocity happened outside. Outside. If these people knew that this house was wired, fully blown wired, they didn't do it inside. And if they did it inside, they were pretty stupid. And guess what? They probably grabbed all the cameras, everything they could, thinking that they got the devices. Someone has a master copy of what happened in that house. I guarantee you they know who did this. And clearly, it wasn't Brian Koberger. So were we hoodwinked? Well, for what it's worth, my 2 cents is, this is all redacted right here too. Start looking up in every single room. Question every single thing they told you. Why would they drop the AED right there in the middle of the room? Did he see Xana laying in a pool of blood and figured she can't be saved and just was stunned and shocked and dropped it there? No. No. Why was the table moved? Start looking up and asking the questions. What is he doing there? What does he have? He got caught having somebody's phone, the weapon. What is that, folks? It's right in front of us. What the heck was Gunderson holding? And then he realized somebody was on body cam. Look at his face. This is in slow motion. What does he have? Is he putting something in a bag? Look at his face. Oh, shit. I got caught. What does he have? Was he taking a picture of something? What did he grab? What is it? Is that the sheath? Yeah, something isn't right, folks. The story that we were told doesn't match up. Why would he have a flashlight? Why would he need a flashlight out? Did that really look like a flashlight? What is going on in this crime scene? What is really going on? I mean, why didn't they just tell us the truth? We're involved in some deep doo-doo. It looked like a phone to me, too. Oh, that is a really good, observation. It looks like a baton. He walked away when he saw the camera. Looked like a phone in his left hand and a flashlight in his right. Yeah, every single light was on inside. Why would he need a flashlight? Why would they need flashlights? Was it someone else's flashlight that he grabbed? Where did he get his flashlight? Because it wasn't in his hand before. He walks out of the room. He's standing there. See him in the background? He's standing there. He's taking pictures of something. Is that a flashlight? Why would he be acting like that with a flashlight? And why would he act and look like he just got caught doing something? Is it a flashlight? What was he doing? Okay, it's a flashlight, but what was he doing? He acts like he's on the phone. Whose phone is that? His? Sure didn't seem right to me. A lot of redactions there. Look, there's another extension cord. Why is that extension cord right there? It wasn't there in the video when they were acting like each other on TikTok. Hold on a minute. Let me go back to a video. Something just caught my eye. Who was it? Was it Kaylee? No, it was Maddie. It was Maddie. Hold on. Maddie Mogan, where are you? Where is it? No, maybe it was Anna. Nope. Okay, it was Kaylee. Here, let's see if we can see this. Let's see if it'll load for me. Famous video here. They blurred his hand. Doesn't the blue jacket disappear?
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy. Oh my God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drop
Well, they've got some cords there.
I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago.
That goes into Dylan's room. The cord goes into
Did anybody do
Dylan's.
their chores today?
That cord went right into Dylan's room.
Anybody drop me to class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there.
One cord's plugged in. It goes right into Dylan's room under the door. Or it goes under the stairs to the other side. Hold on. That little stair.
Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, the cord goes under the stairs on the backside. You see where Kaylee just stepped up? It looks like the cord... Shoot. I wonder if I can play this slower. I don't think so. She steps up and the cord is under the stair and it goes to the other side.
No, Jake's calling. Oh, Jake's calling.
There's a cord on the other side. It goes under the stairs and tacked and over to the other side.
Oh my God, that looks horrid. Oh, Murphy, you look so cute. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out.
What the hell? Wait a minute.
Get out of here. You're seriously gotta get out of here.
That box is sitting there. Isn't that in the crime scene photos? I mean, it could be another box, but I'm just saying, how odd is it that the same box in the living room, and this was made on 10/26. That is odd.
You're fucking stinking this shit out. Hey guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but like, what would you guys do in my situation? Dana, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta go to the pool. Yeah, I fucking failed 2 of them already.
Yo, is it okay to have a party? Like just 3 or 4 people at most.
Okay, so it looked like those cords were the same. They just had it under the stairs, wrapped around over to the lights. Yeah, the big speaker was gone. And all of the rest of the redaction cord is plugged in. Someone kept arguing that that was an extension cord. There is a cord that's plugged in. Now look at all of this redaction on the back patio, folks. Can you see that? They blurred all this out. I'm playing this in 0.25. And I don't know about you, but I see more than one set of footprints. I see like 3, 4 sets of prints. All the redaction over here, that does not look like an extension cord. This cord with the lights was already plugged in. There is no other light socket back here. That did look like rope, cord, or something else with a lot of redactions over here, especially the famous, oh, it's blood on the side of the house from leaking inside of the top of the house all the way to the bottom, but then they've redacted it and blurred out all the rocks right here. Now, here's my point. If this happened outside and it happened on these rocks and somebody squirted the rocks down or watered them down, that would explain why the snow is gone, perhaps. But right here from this corner to right here in this house where the video camera is, where you can see the stairs going down in the 1-1-1-2 house right here, and then the 1-1-1-8 house, the back porch, you can see the back entrance. This camera picked up a lot of noise because it was outside. Outside, right there. And I don't know what all this redaction. Look at on the trash can, folks. What do you see there? What is it that you see on this trash can? And Caleb, I wouldn't doubt it. See, because we don't go with the narrative they're trying to sell us. Look at what's on that trash can. He's using his flashlight. Drops or drips of something. Food, Chinese food. Mac and cheese wouldn't drip like that. It's a stain. There are more. That's Chinese takeout. That was the grub truck. That was the grub truck takeout box. There is more than one pair of footprints here. To the left, there's a whole entire set. To the right, there's another set. Play it slow. He looks over and he sees the other set. Right there, here's the set here that comes in and around. It goes all the way back around this tree. Somebody had to power wash. They missed a lot, though. Yeah, the grub truck uses those boxes. And you can see Maddie walking off with the box. What is all this on the back patio right here? I don't even know what these black spots are. And I'm playing this in slow motion, Temu cleanup. In my humble opinion, I don't believe the cartel does cleanup. And I know that the cartel does not cover bodies. There's a lot of redaction in these pictures. So go back, look at all this mess here. I never noticed all that mess. Under the table. A lot of stuff looks like it was missing. Slow. Slow will tell you the real story. Blur, redaction, blur, redaction. I just feel, I mean, you guys can take a look slow. You'll be able to start seeing more things that you probably didn't see before. And then it'll start making sense. See, when you're not looking for something, you won't see it. But if somebody points it out to you, you'll be able to see it. I don't believe for 1 second the city, the town, or anyone for that fact across America would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for body cams and then be this bad of quality. In the day and age we live in, I doubt that it would be this level in this quality. So, when you start looking at the IDAHO4, start looking at this slower. Take a deep breath. Take some time off. Because when you take time off and come back, you start to see a bigger picture. Now, y'all know I live outside of Phoenix. I was there this weekend. And when I heard and when I remembered I saw on Dylan's arm, Gideon was here, I had to go and research and go down this rabbit hole. And it's kind of scary. See, because in this area, there is a bunch of conservative people in Moscow. But see, there's a college there, and that college is becoming very liberal. And see, there would be a little pushback normally in some towns and some cities. But I think they've used this awful tragedy upon another tragedy to call people in different areas and push a certain agenda. And guess who, my friends, was speaking at the conference in Phoenix? It made my stomach curdle. Mr. Doug Wilson. If you don't know who Doug Wilson is, he actually did a seminar on Gideon. Y'all have to go look that up. And it might be another stream for another day. But if you get a minute, do some research. I've already told you that he's connected to Pete Hegseth. Is it Pete? I think it's Pete. He's already connected. They talk about it openly. He's been on some specials. Yeah. It's crazy. When you dig, you find. He belongs to a conservative church network. I mean, are we living in the days of the Handmaid's Tale? Is this what's going to push us into the 2026? I mean, it's a scary thought. It's a scary, scary thought. I mean, what are your thoughts about this whole, CK and DW and Moscow and the Idaho 4? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Drop your comments and your thoughts. I always want to know what you guys have to think and say. Because things that haven't been solved, someone was trying to tell us in this riddle. I think there's been people all around talking about this for some time. What was in The Handmaid's Tale, the city that they went to or fled? What was that? Oh gosh, I can't even remember. Oh, that was Gilead. That's close. That's pretty darn close. I want to do one real live search real quick. I said, what is Gideon that Doug Wilson mentions in his sermons? The biblical story of Gideon in the book of Judges to make a theological and cultural point, not just a historical one. Israel was oppressed. The Israelites were fearful, divided, and hiding. Gideon himself initially saw himself as a weak, insignificant, and unqualified. Yet God chose him to lead. God uses the weak to shame the strong. Faith requires action, not just belief. God trims the crowd on purpose. Spiritual warfare comes before cultural victory. Why Doug Wilson likes the Gideon story and talks about it so much. It starts with obedient minorities. What are we seeing happen across our country right now? God works through faithful remnants. The one-line summary sermon takeaway that Doug Wilson mentions in Gideon is God deliberately uses small, faithful, obedient groups to accomplish victories that look impossible by human standards. Interesting. Very interesting. Do a dig. See what you see. Share what you see. I think we have more to figure out. I don't think anyone will ever solve this IDAHO4. I don't think these posts and these riddles are significant the way they want us to believe they are. They're not telling us the answers. They're just giving us a bunch of stuff. Still, unsolved, unknown male DNA. So when are they ever going to tell us who that unknown DNA is? We're still going to be talking about it. They hope we stop. They don't want other people to know. Small communities being used to push a large agenda. I don't know who posted this riddle, but we definitely will find out. We will find out. But here's the thing I want to say before I go. Every single creator on social media that talks about this case or covers this case or does videos on this case, doesn't matter if you just started or you've been here for 3 years. Doesn't matter if you just started a year and a half ago or you were listening in the background and nothing made sense and now it makes sense. It's time we be united because being divided still is their agenda. Honestly, no other creator that I know would stand up and bash other creators talking about the Idaho 4 unless they're onto something and they see the bigger picture here. Because there are creators paid to push a narrative, folks. There's always someone in opposition. And if you are not with the opposition, you are against them. And honestly, they're being paid to bash you. That is the agenda. They hope you'll stop and go away. That's what they hope for. And if you can't beat them, they hope that you eventually join them. Don't sell out, folks. Don't sell out. It's time we become united and stop getting the runaround in the IDAHO4 case. Everyone be well. And I mean everyone.
Snow is falling on the city street, a quiet hush, a frozen beat. December air, sharp and cold, a story waiting to be told. We gather round a fading light, seeking truth to make things right. Every shore, we're knocking on justice's door. Oh, we the people hear the call, but freedom reigns, stand tall. Sweet as night, our voices raise for justice in these coming days. Let truth like a river flow. Some promises were left to break, for every dreamer wide awake. But in the cold of fire burns a lesson that the heart burns. From every valley, every dawn, we're asking, what are we fighting for? Oh, we the people hear the call. Every change stands now in justice race for justice and freedom. From every valley, every dawn, we're asking, what are we fighting for? Oh, we the people hear the call. Every change stands now in justice race for justice and freedom. The flow. For the silenced and the lost, we remember the cost. For the future we must build a promise to be fulfilled.